All right, 5A. Moving on to the analytic trigonometry part of our unit. I really like these problems because they really are just like puzzles. So first thing, what you want to do is you want to draw yourself a triangle diagram, a little right triangle. It doesn't matter how you draw it. I always draw mine the same way just because it keeps me consistent and I can quickly set up my diagram and know what sides I'm comparing, etc. So I draw it like this, and I put my little reference angle in the corner there. Now, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So my opposite side is 5, and my hypotenuse is 13. This is a Pythagorean triple. I don't have to do any work to know that that side is 12. But if you don't know that, just do Pythagorean theorem and you can get it. But I'm not going to do that. So once you set up your reference triangle, now you just kind of got to do a little bit of thinking. So before you start listing your values, I think it's a good idea to first figure out what quadrant of the unit circle are you in. Again, all of this comes back to the unit circle. So draw yourself a little diagram and think about it. Sine is 5 over 13. A positive number. So since sine, our y values, are positive, we have to be somewhere in the top two quadrants because that's where our y values and our sine values are positive. Okay, second little hint, cosine theta is less than 0. Less than 0 means it's negative. Cosine, we're talking about x values. So we know on a graph, left is negative and right is positive. Cosine, our x value, is negative. So that gets rid of that positive cosine quadrant right there. Another way to think about this, remember, all students take calculus, or the other way that you remember it, which I'm not going to say, but that tells us that over here, sine is positive, like we're told, and everything else is negative. So cosine has to be negative there. Again, that's why we have that. So now we just need to go through and we need to list all 6 trig values for this angle. It's something shooting off like that. So let's just start with sine. We know sine theta is 5 over 13. That's given to us. And from that, we know that the reciprocal of sine, which is cosecant of theta, is just going to be the reciprocal. So flip that fraction, 13 over 5. Okay, next, cosine of theta. Well, look at your triangle. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we're going to get 12 over 13. But remember, cosine is negative, so you got to make that number negative. Reciprocal of cosine is secant. So secant theta equals negative 13 over 12. Again, just flip that fraction. Last one, last two, tangent of theta. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, so 5 over 12. Well, is it positive or is it negative? Again, look at the quadrant we're in. Only sine is positive there, so tangent has to be negative. Last one, cotangent of theta. Just flip it, negative 12 over 5. And you're done.